Bonsoir tout le monde. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Live with Maire Leroux. Merci d'être ici ce soir pour Leroux en direct. Je vais juste inviter, I'm just going to bring in our Director of Parks and Recreation, Madame Céline Guittard. Bonjour, Céline.
Bonsoir, Monsieur le Maire.
Ça va?
Bonsoir tout le monde.
Good. Just a little bit of introduction. We have a couple more guests that are going to be joining us in a few minutes. But I just wanted to let everybody know what this meeting is about tonight. So tonight we're really discussing the process and on the public consultation periods that are coming up, on the survey, and to answer any questions that people might have in regards to the surveys themselves. This is a project that's been a long time coming. I think we've been discussing I've been here 20 years and I've heard about a complexe, puis on est finalement ici, so c'est super le fun. Mais m'a laissé Céline introduire. Our first guest is Scott. I'll just bring him into the live stream here. Hi, Scott.
Hi.
Hi, Scott.
So, Céline, can you introduce everyone to Scott, please?
Yeah, I sure can. So back in December, just to maybe backtrack a bit, Council approved that we hire Collier's project leaders as a consultant to at least accomplish the phase 1 and phase 2 of the recreation complex location projects. So Scott was the first one that we got from Colliers. So Scott is the senior project manager with Collier's project leader, and he's the main leader of this whole adventure that started back in December.
So does that mean the buck stops with you, Scott?
For now. For now. I think it more stops with Celine and the council and yourself, but I'm here to help drive those decisions. So.
All right, perfect. I think we might have somebody else joining us later on, or when they're able to connect.
Yeah.
Okay, but I'll just break it down. So really, there's 3 parts to the meeting this evening. The first one will be just a little bit of the introduction in regards to the process, that kind of stuff. We're going to have a little discussion in regards to the questionnaire itself. And then we're going to have the third part, which is really going to be talking about the online public consultations that are coming in the following weeks. So not sure who's going to take the lead for the introduction, if that's you, Scott, or...
Yeah, I can talk about it. So the first step and the whole process of getting the rec center and the site planned out a little better as we move into the more exciting phases is reaching out to the public and getting some initial feedback and gauge the interest for some particular areas that have been discussed for the site and the facility in general. And so that's where the questionnaires have come out. They're very general, but they're also planned that way to get some general feedback to start, and then we've also left some blank areas there as well for people to let us know what they've seen in other facilities that they've enjoyed, and so we can take those feedback as well and start compiling, preferences and other things that people are really interested in when it comes to their own recreational site.
Okay, so this is for those who have been paying attention. This is still fairly new in the sense that we're moving ahead with the public consultation, but council has been discussing this for quite a while, and it's been ongoing talks for the last few years, and we've taken different steps on moving it forward. But right now we're still in the initial stages. So what I'll do is I'll just share my screen so that people can follow here. Give me a second. So for anybody who's interested, if you go to the russell.ca website, right when you log in, we have the recreational complex survey. So if you click on this, or si tu veux l'avoir en français, tu as juste à aller au lien en français, puis tu peux voir le sondage en français ici. Mais see, just to bring it up here. So this is the general survey that we have currently for all the user groups, correct?
That's right.
Yeah.
So basic stuff, and I know that we have some questions coming in. So just I'll just state this, and then I'll go to the questions later. But this is the meeting tonight is really on the process where we are right now. It's not like we have the public consultations coming, and we have further council meetings. So a lot of the questions in regards to what's going to be involved in there, what's going to be put, construction questions, that kind of stuff is really for the public consultation side. This is really to address the process this evening, correct?
Yeah, it's to address the survey and the questionnaire itself. Sorry. And if people have questions concerning the survey and and if they want to maybe draw some more questions. And so this is really it's the promotion of the survey, because we really want people to have a chance to fill out and understand the questions that are on that survey.
Right. Because, and, just looking at some questions here, like, your name or your organization, that's simple enough. Are there things you like about recreation facilities you have visited before outside of the township? So some of these questions are really, it's not, some surveys we see, it's really pick one or the other. But this seems to be really more interactive, where we actually want people to take the time to give us feedback, right? It's not just, do you want A or B? It's really, what do you like or what don't you like, or, and how can we make this, the best thing possible?
Yeah, exactly. So we want people's feedback in what they've really enjoyed in other facilities, so we can bring that into this facility and hopefully plan something that the community can really enjoy and enjoy for a long time. And it's pretty general right now, and it's pretty interactive, because exactly like you're saying, we want people to kind of dream big in these initial stages and see what we can, what kind of feedback we get, so we can create something exciting for the community as we move through all these stages.
Yeah, good point. I think too, it's as a father of 3 boys, I'm thinking back, but it's not necessarily just where I am in my life right now. It's maybe things that I experienced in the past that would have been nice to have, or things that I've seen elsewhere, qu'à part d'autres dans d'autres municipalités qui seraient intéressés pour quand je suis plus vieux. So it's really, people have to take the time to really give it some thought and say, okay, there's different stages in life, and these are things that I've either seen that I would have liked to have back in the day, or something I'd like in the future.
Yeah.
And also, we'd like people not to, to be shy to write whatever they feel like writing. This is a survey where we're seeking your answers, and no answer is a bad answer. So write whatever you want to write, and as long as it's constructive, of course. But this is that's why we're doing this. It's to have the feel of the population.
Okay, perfect. So some general, like I said, there's some very pointed questions, and then there's some that are multiple choice. What's the low priority for you? What's higher? Pools, arena, library, performing arts center, food services, that kind of stuff. But this one was this is a very generic one for the public, but there was, for our different user groups, there was specific ones sent to all those user groups. Is that correct?
That's right. So the user groups, the specific user groups, received a specific survey questionnaire for the facility that they do use on a normal week or year. So we want to seek their answers concerning the facility that they use the most. Of course, they're also free to answer the general one. There's no limit for that. And once we've sent those questionnaires, then there will be some live conversation that will be happening with the consultant and those user groups, because we want to get some more answers on other questions that we might have, and we want to have some open discussions with them. I will be participating in some of them. I can't be participating in every one of them, because There's a lot of user groups, but I will definitely be participating in some of them because I'm curious to see what the users have to say and what they would like to have.
Okay, perfect. So I'll just go to some of the comments we're receiving, just so you're aware. So we have Tracy here asking, will bird-friendly design guidelines be consulted as part of the design and the planning phase? Not sure if, Scott, that's something you guys look at. Obviously, you look at the township documents, and it'll be part of the discussion with the planning department. But that's really not a question for this evening, right?
No, I would say that's more the public consultation time, but it is something that would be considered down the line. Like, we're not quite there yet where we need to consider that in anything we're doing in this current phase, but it would be something that would be considered during construction and the design of those facilities. So,
okay.
But yeah, those are the kind of questions that we'll really address at the public consultation in the next couple weeks.
Perfect. So it's interesting because we have some people who've commented that, Felix has said questionnaire was simple and well done, good to be consulted. It's always Matthew completed the survey this afternoon. So thank you very much to everybody who's completed it so far. I think we've gotten quite a bit so far, 400 or 500, or are we hitting close to that?
Last time we checked, it was over 300. I would say it's probably pushing up around that number now. We'll confirm that with Celine though.
Okay, perfect. We have some more questions. Charles Armstrong, this project is in competition for funding with the 417 Industrial Park funding, which is a priority project. That's not in relation to the process at this point in time. I would suggest you ask that send me an email, or you can ask that at a council meeting when we're going to be discussing it in the future. But, we have had documents from our treasurer in regards to the capacity of funds in the township. I'm not too worried about that one. One here, Pierre and Celine, please share the 2017 circa public consultation results for the recreational master plan with Colliers. Most residents have provided their feedback. Definitely, I believe the process is that you've looked at all the township documents at this point in time.
Yeah, all those documents were shared with Colliers, definitely. That was back in November. So they have that everything in their hand, including the most important part, the master plan. Okay,
perfect. Let's see. We have Lisa has a question here. Could you please let us know how you will analyze inputs from organizations versus individuals? What sorts of organizations are you seeking input from? How will you survey data be considered as it originates from different organizations? Good question. Like Madame Guital said, we do have a lot of user groups that use our different facilities currently. So obviously we're looking for their feedback because they're probably the biggest users of the facilities, Madame Guital.
That's right. We have if I'm looking just at the arenas, we have a fairly large number of adult leagues, minor sports associations, figure skating. Those are the regular users, but definitely the one that rents here and there some ice time whenever we can are definitely also will be looked at. Like I said, every comment will be looked at, and every answer will be looked at.
Okay, perfect. And in regards to the maybe we can talk a little bit about the planning process. Like right now, we're in the initial stages, right? So council has hired Colliers as a project management firm for the first phase and the design of the following phase and the public consultations and stuff. What I'll just show on the website here, if you go on our website, you get the survey really quick and simple right through the middle. But if you go to the town hall option, you'll see here under projects and development, recreation complex. So if you click on there, it gives you basically all the history of everything that's going on, the survey itself, this event this evening, our public consultations on March 3rd and 10th. So for the members of the public, we have an English online public consultation next Wednesday night on the 3rd. And we have a French one on the 10th. But that being said, if you're unable to make one of those meetings, feel free to watch the other one and ask a question, in the opposite language. That's not a problem. At the end of the day, this is what we want. Is we want your feedback. So if it has to be in another language during those 2 meetings, that's not a problem. We'll have bilingual people on board to go through those with you guys. But just to show you, this is a concept plan here. But here under the project phases, this really gives a lot of information of where we are. Like phase 1, the design, tender, construction, that kind of stuff. So I think everybody who's filling out the survey, who has filled out the survey, that's a fantastic thing. But I would suggest that you go on this page as well and really read up on it and how the process is moving forward. Because that's, Scott, you're going to have those public consultations, and that's really where I guess like people answering the survey, but that's really going to be a discussion in virtually as opposed to just filling in a survey, right?
Yes. Yeah. I think it's just we keep pushing the point, which is important. The more feedback we get, the more in line we can make the design for the community and what their interests are. So I think it's great that we've had a ton of feedback already, and we're excited to use that feedback to help drive the design of future phases. So
right. Okay, let's just look at some more questions here. We got Matt. Considering amenities or big draw items like diving tower, for example, might help generate revenue, seeing how the closest is in the West End. Yes, Nepean Sportsplex, I've dived off that thing quite a few times in my youth. Yeah, but that's a comment that you want to see on the survey, right? If you're looking for stuff like that, make sure you share that with us.
Yeah.
That's great.
Jeanette, could you please post the link? You went too fast to show here. Sorry, Jeanette. So yeah, if you go to the Russell website, you just go under Town Hall. You click on Town Hall, and then you'll see Recreation Complex. I'll post it afterwards. I can post it in the link in the comment section. Michel Blanchard has a question. Could you provide eyes on how this process, I think he got cut off, but he added one. Could you advise us on how this process will provide results when consultations have happened before, particularly on arenas? There was a recreational complex committee back in mid-2000s, and we ended up losing the opportunity to have multiple ice pads on Route 300, but it went to Rockland. I don't believe any of us were here back then, Monsieur Blanchard. I can't speak to what happened in the past. I can just speak to what's going on right now. As I mentioned before, I've been here for 20 years. I've heard about complexes for the last 20 years. This current council is actually moving ahead and we've been the closest we've ever been is right now, if I can put it that way. Anything to add I haven't touched on yet?
I did get an update. We do have over 450 surveys returned so far. So.
Oh, nice. So on a au-dessus de 450 personnes qui ont pris le temps de remplir le document pour le survey. So j'encourage tout le monde, share the survey as much as possible. Talk to your friends and neighbors, socially distancing, of course. Message people that you think should be providing information, because it's really the public that's going to give us an idea which direction we're going, right? Council obviously has the final decision in the process, but we're elected by the people, so we need the people's feedback on this project, specifically since it's such a huge multi-million-dollar project, right? So okay. So
we have to say that all those surveys were filled out in only 2 weeks, because the survey's been out only for 2 weeks now.
Mm-hmm.
So that's really good news. So we like to see the support of the community. That's always nice to work towards a big project like that. When we did, if I can go back to the sports dome, we had the support of the community, and that project was a big success, and it's still a big success. So hopefully it'll be the same right for the complex.
Yeah, just on the complex, it was, or on the dome, it was funny because I've had a few conversations in the last, well, not long after the dome was constructed, people came up to me and said, I was never a supporter of the dome and this and that. And, at the time they were like, now I'm there walking every day with my wife. And, so it's I think we have a good track record. And I think we've started well the path to building this recreational cultural hub in the community. So I'm glad to see that we're still moving forward with this. So we've talked about the introduction, and we've talked, like I've shown on the website, there's a lot of information there if people want more specifics onto the timelines and that kind of stuff. They can even go look at the reports that were brought to council back in December that council approved. We've talked about the questionnaire. I'm not sure if there's anything else to add on the questionnaire itself.
I don't think so. I think it's pretty complete. But like I said, if somebody thinks that we forgot something, don't be shy. Just add it in the comment section, and definitely we'll look at it. And if in the meantime we're still having 2 public consultation nights, so if you think that it should be discussed at the public consultation nights, just send me or Pierre an email, and we will definitely incorporate that information in the public consultation. The 2 nights.
Okay, perfect. So for I've put Celine's email and my email at the bottom of the screen. Because there's a few people watching live, but there'll be some people who are watching after the fact. So obviously we won't see the comments coming in after this live video is finished. But you can always reach out to us if you have questions. Like I say, a lot of the questions will be answered on the page probably. But once in regards to the process, once this survey is done, the public consultations are done, the team with Colliers goes back, works on all that stuff, and then it comes back to council, in a few months, correct?
That's correct.
Okay, perfect. Yeah. Perfect. So I think, it wasn't planned for a long discussion tonight. I think, let's see, I think I have somebody else coming in and they made a comment. JP, survey completed, very positive improvement for the community. Thank you for everything. And then Mike McDonald, what is your personal goal for a timeline from now till construction is done? So Mike, personal goal for me is ASAP, but that's just me. Council has approved, if I remember well, Madame Guitar, the timeline is to have shovel in the ground for spring of next year, spring or summer of next year. I think we're working on the design of everything. There is some work. There is some work being done this year in regards to the outdoor tennis courts, basketball courts, and some planning for the future snow hill. Yeah, and
we're hoping to have the concept of the complex itself be approved at council in August.
Okay.
And after that, it'll be it's going to be like a go for that. And hopefully the shovel in the ground in the spring 22. And after that, I think Scott, it would take a year and a half for completion of construction, approximately.
Yeah, it'll probably go to a year and a half, 2 years.
Yeah.
It's a big facility, and we'll see what's going to be included in that facility through this consultation. So that's right.
Yeah, and of course there's always the financing part of it that will play a part in the discussions with council. Right now, it might be a phased approach. It might be everything at once. Depends if we can get some government grants, and there's a whole other stuff of discussion that's going to be coming later on this year. But really, I think right now we're in the gathering phase, the public consultation phase, right? So I guess as I mentioned, we have, let's see here, the online public consultations. So 2 public consultations will be held by online participation. Meeting dates and times of language below. So English online will be on March 3rd, and the French one will be on March 10th, both at 6:30 p.m. And I believe we're going to be recording these as well, and they will be available most likely on our Facebook and YouTube pages afterwards. So if somebody misses those, they can always watch them after the fact. And again, our emails are there. Staff are always there to answer your question, take your comments. So even if that's, if you haven't had a chance to be at part of those meetings and you watch them and you have comments you want to share, then by all means, share them with Madame Guitard or share them with members of council, any members of council, and we'll forward it to the proper department, and we'll make sure that, your voice is heard. I think... Was there anything else you'd like to add, Scott or Céline?
No, I think it's pretty. That's pretty it, and hopefully everybody will take 5 minutes to fill out the survey. This is really important for us, and we really want to have the input of everyone. So please try to do it. It's really important for us.
Okay. Perfect.
Yeah, I would encourage again people to take a look at the timeline and everything. I believe it is 2022 is the plan. It might be later in the year than the spring. I think the spring might be contracting and stuff, but it is 2022, which is exciting and nearby, and it's exciting to see what we're also doing this year, which is, and a very big important piece of this year is getting the feedback from the community to make sure that we can have a good concept to go to council in the fall to initiate the next more exciting phase, which I'm sure most people want to see.
Well, that's it, right? There's everybody has a lot of questions. Unfortunately, it's a lot of questions that it's too early at this point to answer. Mm-hmm. But it's great that people are thinking about it, that they have these thoughts and they're actually, excited because, I think that we saw it with the dome. Once the ball started getting rolling on the dome idea, and the community came together, and the social organizations that raised funds, this was fantastic. So 2 last comments, and then I think we'll be done. Rock, good job to all those involved. Any news on major corporate sponsors? Not at this point in time, but I'm sure we're going to try and get some because, like I said, this is going to be expensive and we got to pay for it. So any funds we can raise is very much appreciated.
And if we have any suggestions, please send them to us.
Yeah, if you happen to work for a large company and you think they'd love to sponsor us, put them in contact with us.
Yeah.
And Lisa, je tiens à remercier le canton d'avoir permis la consultation virtuelle. Bien que cela soit dû à COVID, et cela a également permis à beaucoup d'entre nous qui ont des problèmes d'accessibilité différents de s'impliquer davantage dans la communauté de chez eux. Merci beaucoup, Lisa. Définitivement, on essaie d'inclure tout le monde. I guess that's the negative side of COVID is we can't see each other in person. But I know just from a social media standpoint and from a council meeting standpoint, we have more people attending virtually than we ever had in person. We used to have 1 or 2 people attend a meeting in person. Now we have tons and tons of people that are watching either live or after the fact. So perfect. Well, you know what? I'm excited. I think Céline's excited. Scott, I'm sure you're excited as well. I think that's it. I just have one little comment. Somebody just posted. Allez-vous mettre le sondage en français? Oui, Mathieu, il est là. Oui. Si tu vas à la page de la municipalité, moi, juste le montrer une deuxième fois. Reste à la même page. Si tu regardes ici, là, dans le milieu, si tu cliques sur le petit bouton pour aller en français, tu vas voir, oups, j'ai juste fermé l'avis, tu vas voir que le sondage est en français aussi. Alors, tu vas être capable de remplir en français ou en anglais. Vous avez le choix. Parfait. Alors, I think that's it for me, guys. I think that's it for you. Right? Anything else?
No. Thank you for everybody that was watching tonight, and hopefully we'll be seeing you either on the 3rd or the 10th, and we'll be able to answer more questions and listen to your comments also.
Okay. Merci beaucoup, Céline, pour être ici ce soir. Thank you very much, Scott, for being here this evening. And I look forward to seeing the comments and the reports coming in the near future.
Yeah.
Awesome. Have a great night, everyone. Remember, the 3rd and the 10th, public consultations, and take the time to watch or fill out the surveys and share the surveys. Make sure you're sharing it because, we need as much feedback as possible. Parfait. Merci beaucoup.
Good night.
Good night.
Thank you.
Bonsoir.
Bonsoir.